Reagan, most major conservative groups have put out statements blasting this deal. Are you worried?
You mean the groups that came out and opposed it before they ever saw it?
Yes, those groups. Are you worried that
they're using our members and they're using the American people for their own goals? This is ridiculous. Listen, if you're for more deficit reduction, you're for this agreement.
Oh, wow. Is that Johnny? Yes, Johnny Boehner. There's Johnny. And I'm Mark Levin. And our number, 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. All right. Johnny's mad. Yes. They've got this massive debt reduction bill that cuts $23 billion over 10 years. And no future Congress will change its mind. Ever, never. He promises. This would be the same Johnny Boehner who just 2 years ago, really almost 2.5 years ago, signed off on the debt ceiling deal. Remember that one that had the sequester cuts in it? And they're not going to back off of that until they back off of it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will repeat what I told Paul Ryan yesterday. And you've heard it all day long by other hosts, I'm sure. We have over a $90 trillion unfunded liability. Do you know where they come up with that number? From me. It's in the Liberty Amendments, because I calculated it. And ladies and gentlemen, soon it's $100 trillion. You know what that means? That means our kids and their kids and every future generation is going to be destroyed, because there's not enough currency on the face of the earth to address that. Then we have what's called the fiscal operating debt. And I distinguish that from the unfunded liabilities, the entitlements. The fiscal operating debt built up from one budget after another, not even counting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, is almost $17.3 trillion. When my book came out in August, it was $17 trillion. $17.3 trillion. And as a nation, we're focused on $23 billion over 10 years, which is never going to happen. And the media running around talking about, wow, that Washington actually works. And the Republicans saying, anything but a government shutdown. Do they not understand that the whole damn thing's going to shut down and collapse? And it won't just be 17% of the federal government. It'll be your savings. It'll be your mutual funds. It'll be your pension. It'll be the value of your paycheck. It'll be your college fund. It'll be everything. Because once the spiral occurs, there's no undoing it. Because man makes a situation that cannot be fixed until there's an ultimate collapse. It's called the laws of economics, and they are as serious and real as the laws of physics. This is what we're trying to prevent. Well, we're only trying to do what's doable. Elect more Republicans. You know, near the end of Sean's program, I heard this Congressman Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania. On and on and on he goes. I'm sure he's a very decent man. On and on and on he goes about what? The American people made a choice in the last election. Well, I would remind Congressman Kelly that the American people made a choice in 2000, and they made a choice in 2004, where we had a Republican President, George W. Bush, and we had a Republican House and a Republican Senate for 6 full years. And you know what we got out of that, ladies and gentlemen? The most profligate spending in American history prior to this president. Oh, and no, it wasn't just 9/11. We once had something called the Vietnam War. We once had something called the Cold War, where we spent a fortune on national security, and necessarily so. That said, the problem was domestic spending. And then what was the excuse? Karl Rove, the architect, sitting at George W. Bush's right knee, all over the Fox News channel, telling us these deals are good deals. There's nothing else we can do. And not just him. They're all over the place. The naysayers. Well, we can feel comfortable with them, right? We can keep doing this, but one day it comes crashing down. Obama might be out of office. Boehner might be out of office. McConnell. Fox News may or may not still be on the air, but the system will crash. You can't keep doing this. And they tell us we have a bipartisan deal. It's the best we can do, which is exactly why I say maybe it is the best they can do. They designed this catastrophe. And let me be quite blunt about this. Both parties are in on it. This is why I say vote conservative, vote constitutionalist. You support candidates in these Republican primaries who are serious about this stuff, not just yammering away. And John Boehner, he attacks conservatives. How did you know about this budget in advance? Well, leadership was telling everybody in advance, Johnny. One of your own leaders called me. That's right. I won't reveal his name. Over the weekend. Was that a leak, Johnny? You're going to fire him? And you told him to call people. Your staff, your leadership has been calling quote-unquote opinion makers in the media, on editorial pages, on cable, in talk radio, trying to lay the groundwork for support for something like this. No, I didn't know the final outcome, but something like this. And so how did all of you know about it? How did they know to oppose this deal? Oh, there's leakers around us. Yes, you guys are the leakers. Planning your stories. Spinning. Now, I'm going to